Hello and welcome to this review of SpiritMe, which is an AI avatar service. And in this review, I'm going to show you why I think SpiritMe is really innovative.
So let's get into it. I am in the studio and we have a variety of templates we can apply, and these look really professional, but I'm not going to be using a template. I'm just going to be doing my own thing. And I'm going to start by looking at the backgrounds. Now we can have solid colors or we can have gradients, which is really quite useful. I think this makes for a really sort of professional looking service. That looks quite good. Now we can also add filters, and we see these down the side. They're not going to be particularly good for a background. We can make adjustments to things and we can add effects, and these are things like pixelize or radial blurs or things like that, or dot patterns. So I'm just going to go back to a solid background, and it's going to be a solid black background. Now when we come to avatars, you can create your own avatar, but you have to pay slightly more. Let's pick this person here. And you can see now we've got our avatar. They are a half body avatar, but they can be resized and they can be repositioned. What I like about this is that you've got positioning tools, which are really useful. We can add a stroke around the avatar, but it puts it in a box rather than around the actual avatar. So we've picked our avatar. Now we're going to go and look at scripts. So we can upload our own audio, or we can use text to speech, and we can use emotions, which is really useful. So I'm going to go for Jessica, who's pro, and I'm going to just type this out. So if we go down to here, we get a little tip about how to use the markup for emotions. We have to copy this, and I'm going to copy it, and we've got neutral, semi-smile, smile, happiness, and sad. So I'm going to paste this in here. So the emotion name is going to be, I think, happiness. So I'm going to put in happiness, and for the last one, I'm going to put in smile. Okay, so that gives us two different emotions, which is really nice to see. We've got stock footage here, and we've got a library that we can search. So I might want to put this in. And this is portrait format stock footage. What I like is for every element there are blend modes. For every asset we put in, including the avatars, we can have blend modes, and we can copy and paste elements. That's really useful. So I might want her over here like so, and I might want to start putting some shapes in. So I'm going to put a basic shape in, and I'm going to make it white, and I'm going to make it match this frame here. And I'm going to give it some effects. So I'm going to go here to effects, and I'm going to want a halftone. So I've got this lovely halftone effect there, but it's maybe a bit overpowering. So I'm going to go up here and I'm going to just change the opacity. And I think I'm doing that for the wrong thing. So let's just change the opacity for this. And let's put this back. And I think I might want to put in some text. So I'm going to put in a title up here. So I think we'll have that about there. And again, that alignment tool is great. And we're going to add some text down the bottom, which is going to be heading. There we go. So we're going to make that a little bit smaller, so it fits in down here. I think we'll make this a bit bigger, but we're going to have it. And I'm just going to put one more shape in, which is going to be white. Put it down here for my Big G video and make it like that. So I've just built a really professional looking slide. It didn't take me long, and I could do everything within SpiritMe. We've got audio though, so we're going to have inspirational. That's it. Let's have a very quick listen to this. Got to say, I couldn't hear that on my computer, but I'm sure it's working. And we've got stickers if we really wanted to add some stickers, but I'm going to leave that alone. And again, what's nice is we can do things like we can rename certain things. So I might not want this to be audio, or I might want certain layers to be called something else. If we click up here, we can align things and we can move things backwards and forwards, which is really useful. So I'd probably want to move this to the back. And if we click up here, we can see we've got our format of the video as a whole. So we can go from 16 to 9, we can have 9 to 16, we can have all these different ratios, but we can also do 4K as well, which is very impressive. It works on a slide basis, so if I put another slide in, and it looks like we don't have any way to transition between slides, or any way we can select to transition between slides, but that's okay. One other thing I like is we can also disable certain layers if we don't want them to be in the export. So we could put maybe notes in, but we don't have to have them show in the export, which is really good. Like I said, we can rename each layer, so we could easily mark it for being a note or something. So I've got this through AppSumo, and I think it was $59 through AppSumo. But if you were not getting it through AppSumo, it would be a minimum of $30 per month, which gives you 10 minutes of video exports. Now, one thing I've noticed is that if you navigate away and you don't generate your video, you seem to lose it. There doesn't seem to be any way to save what you've worked on. So I've gone and I've navigated away to show pricing, and I've lost all that work I did, which is really unfortunate.
Text hello and welcome to this review of SpiritMe. Hope you enjoy it.
Now, it's really useful to have an iOS app, because I found that I was away from my desk for some time and I needed to do a post, so I just used the iOS app. And you can see the iOS app here. It's not as flush as the desktop version, but you can still use it to generate avatar-based videos. And once it's rendered, you get an email sent to your email account to let you know that it's rendered. And from there, you can go and download it.
This is the iOS app in use. As you can see, it does a good job, but you cannot add text, and it doesn't have all the features of the web app. You can add images from files or your photos, or even your camera. You can still use emotions, but this is more fiddly on a phone. Bye.
So what do I think of SpiritMe? While I think it is very innovative, I do think it is expensive, and I'm also really surprised that you can't seem to save your videos halfway through editing, and that you have to go all the way to generate the video.